This song is the repetition of 3 notes over and over. The chord that you're going to be droning over is that chord right there. It's a G sharp, and you're going to make it with your first finger on the 6th string, 4th fret, ring finger on the 5th string, 6th fret, pinky finger on the 4th string, 6th fret as well. The first set of notes are those 2 right there. They're octaves of this G sharp. The second note, you're going to plant down your ring finger on the 5th string, 6th fret, and strike your ring finger string and your pinky finger string, the 5th and the 4th strings again. And then for the last movement, you're going to pick up your ring finger and plant down your pointer finger on the 5th string, 4th fret, and pluck it, and then right behind it, the 4th string again, where your pinky finger is remaining static throughout this entire song, and then it just goes back into that G sharp and repeats over and over again. Whenever Dave Matthews gets into the part of the song where maybe there's a solo taking place, he tends to break out of this very specific rhythm or this very specific plucking pattern and just starts to strum that feel, and will strum across these 3 strings right here. Still moving your fingers up here in the same pattern, but now you're just strumming through it to provide a chunkier sound. I've also seen Dave Matthews fingerpick this at times. Whenever he fingerpicks the beginning of it, he usually probably has a pick in his hand so that whenever it gets to that chunkier part of the song, you can just get the pick and start picking. But if you're going to finger pick it, you'd be using your thumb and your first finger. Your thumb is going to pluck down as you move the notes. This G sharp, D sharp, and C sharp, I guess, are the notes. That's what your thumb is moving each time, and then your forefinger, your first finger, is going to be plucking up on this 4th string, 6th fret each time, for interplay between the movement of these notes that your thumb will keep going and go. And it just does that back and forth. On the album version of Proudest Monkey in the right channel, you can hear Tim Reynolds playing around. So I want to talk a little bit and demonstrate a little bit about how you can noodle around in the same mode and the same kind of thought process maybe that Tim Reynolds does. A lot of what he does relies on a root and a third being added to his chords, the way that he moves up and down the neck. Just to give you a sense of what a root and a third is with a chord that I know that we're familiar with, a G major chord, okay? And this chord is not in Proudest Monkey, so I'm kind of switching gears for a second. But if you look at a G major chord, your first note that you have fretted right there, this G with your 2nd finger, that's the first note in the scale. Then if you run up the scale to the 3rd note in the scale, 1, 2, 3, you get the 3rd of the scale. It's a B. So if you've got the root and the 3rd note together, that's what I'm referring to whenever I say a root and a third. You can go up and down the entire G major scale playing just a root and a third, and you do so like this. It would be a G major, an A minor, a B minor, a C major, a D major, an E minor, an F sharp minor, and then up again to this G major. If your fingers are close together, you see me using here my 2nd finger and my ring finger. If they're close together, then it's a major. If they're split apart, then you're playing a root with a minor third on it. Okay, and we see this done a lot of different ways. Dave Matthews relies pretty heavily on this, but he does it in different fingering styles. If you're familiar with songs like Never Lay Down or Tripping Billies or Gray Street. So anyway, all of those are major thirds or minor thirds that Dave Matthews is throwing in on the chord structure. Tim Reynolds does the exact same thing, getting back to my point, except for he usually does it higher up the neck. So instead of playing a G like this, Tim Reynolds might play a G like this in a D formation higher up the neck. So to Proudest Monkey. If you want to play around in the noodle patterns that Tim Reynolds is doing at the beginning of the song that you hear in the right channel, you would come up to the 8th fret and make this D shape right here. And you can do it with 3 fingers, you can do it with 2 fingers, fretting down your 2nd finger there on the 2nd string 9th fret, or however you want to do it. So anyway, to play the little noodly riff that Tim Reynolds plays, you're going to hit the 1st and 2nd string that you've got fretted with your 2nd finger on the 8th fret and ring finger on the 9th fret of the 2nd string. So 1st and 2nd string, and then 2nd and 3rd string that you've got fretted on the 2nd string 9th fret, 3rd string 8th fret. First and second, 2nd and 3rd. Then come down here to the 3rd and 4th string and fret the 3rd string with your 2nd finger on the 10th fret and ring finger on the 11th fret. And then slide that down with your ring finger moving to the 4th string 9th fret. I'm sorry, not 9th fret. This would be the 10th fret. And pointer finger on the 3rd string 8th fret. And putting it together, you would get. You could also play it on the 1st and 3rd string if you wanted to. Kind of similar idea there. And I've got all of that, 1st and 3rd on the 8th fret, then 1st string on the 4th fret, 3rd string on the 5th fret, then 2nd string and 2nd string and 3rd string on the 6th fret, 2nd string on the 4th fret, 5th string on, or 2nd string on the 4th fret, 3rd string on the 5th fret. There are various ways to noodle around like Tim Reynolds, but again, a lot of them rely on these chords that have thirds in them.